Coming up right now, find out which Arizona city will allow workers to actually sleep in their cars as it now faces a major spike in housing costs.
Also coming up in New York, man vows to regain his 750-pound, 11-foot pet gator that was removed from his home.
A little bit later on, Disney cuts ties with Will Smith and cancels his sequel to a billion-dollar franchise.
Oh boy, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English. This is Daily Flash. So glad to have you along here. We got a whole hour packed with all this trending news and information that you need. We'll also be checking in, of course, with old Matt Doolittle. He's getting ready for his honeymoon soon, right?
Yeah.
Is the honeymoon around the corner anytime? Or?
It's getting there. It's in May. I love my wife.
Sure. I would hope so.
We are coordinating flights to get to Greece for our Virgin Voyages cruise.
Well, Greece is the word.
Ooh, Virgin, the adult cruise.
We have to go from here
First
to
time?
there to there to there to there to
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
But it's cheaper sometimes.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to keep her, but it's a whole
So
thing.
keep that in mind. I think that's a good thing. Cheaper to keep her.
Coordinated the wedding.
Little
Now we're
figure.
coordinating the honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I just wanted to not coordinate.
Here's the
things.
question, which was easier?
I mean, I guess this is going to be, but there's no
Okay.
drink package on Virgin Voyages, so I don't even have
serious?
that. Yeah, you got to pay
Well, they're
pre-so.
smart.
And
This
I
is
can't
also-
smuggle it
That's
on
true.
because it's overseas.
No
Yeah.
kids. Right
No
there. I'll
kids,
pay the
right.
money. No kids. I mean, you're going on a cruise,
Oh,
right?
kids are going to be expensive. to
They're
coordinate.
very
Pay
expensive.
the
but-
extra dough.
After the cruise.
So we've talked a little bit about Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. Her video just got released on Disney Plus. Matt mentioned it the other day. The numbers have been insane. They've had huge numbers watching it. They also released a report about what they're calling Swift quakes, like earthquakes.
Oh, really?
So whenever she does a concert, let's say in Los Angeles, they are able to note a certain kind of seismic activity from the crowd.
Oh, they had
at
this in
the
South
show.
America. They had this in
Yeah.
South America.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's an
yeah.
actual thing. Now, it's not enough power to cause a quake, but it's causing seismic activity that's been recorded.
That many people congregated
Yes.
together, probably all dancing
Yeah.
and loud, and then the music coupled with it. Wow.
Exactly.
So if you're in a city where Taylor is, it's
Yeah.
not an earthquake. It's
No,
a Taylor
it's
quake.
a swift quake.
Swift quake, yeah, there you go.
They've mentioned 4 particular cities. Los Angeles was one of them. Yeah. So there you go.
We move a little further east to Arizona, and there's a city there that has approved a program that's going to allow homeless workers to sleep in their cars. And the decision is actually causing some outrage from local homeowners. The Sedona City Council approved the Safe Place to Park program, and it includes 40 designated parking spots for those employed full-time, all within the city limits. It also includes on-site bathrooms and showers. Critics say that this new program will actually lead to pollution, drug use, other illegal activities, which will also have a negative impact on the parks and surrounding areas. City officials say that the program is only temporary and will conclude in 2016 when the funding will run out. The program comes as the city has searched for a solution to deal with skyrocketing home prices. Supporters say that this move will actually help those who would otherwise be forced to, well, sleep in their cars. Affordable housing projects are also in the works, and I'm sure that's what critics are saying about this, is that, well, let's work on actually where they can stay in their homes. However, what about people that maybe first off, you have to be full-time employee.
For the city,
employed
yeah.
For the city to be able to do this. So as far as drug use goes and that sort of thing, it seems like if you're taking drugs, you're probably not waking up to go to work. You know what I'm saying? If it's that bad. But and again, they're saying this is temporary, and there are some people that are happy. They have vans. They have van life.
Yeah.
And there's also, because my wife has a Prius, there's a whole people live in their Priuses too.
Are you serious?
Because they're they're hybrids. And you can keep the air conditioner on all night because it runs off your battery, and then you
Take
just
showers
drive
at
some.
Buc-ee's. There's a whole
Right.
TikTok
Really?
language
Like
and
a
or
Reddit
stuff,
kinda,
videos
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh
yeah,
my
reels.
gosh.
And if you have a gym membership, yeah, like I said, or Buc-ee's, or you
Yeah, I
can
could get that.
get it, take a shower that way. It's sad that it's come down to this. I think where the bigger problem is how much rent is cost. Obviously it's very expensive to live.
That's the bigger conversation. I mean, they mention affordable housing and they say it's temporary, but anytime they put in a temporary program, it always ends up becoming permanent some way, somehow. But the bigger conversation is affordable housing. I think we talked about one of the Steamboat Springs in Colorado. It's become so popular with influencers and out-of-towners that now it's impossible for regular workers to afford to live there, to work there, because everybody's bought everything out. And now the average price of a home there in a small ski town is nearly $2 million.
And good luck. And then, but what people forget is there are people that have to work at the convenience stores that are not going to be able to afford the houses like that.
And this is Sedona, Arizona, which is a popular, high-end resort town in Arizona.
So keep that in mind. I think would you be just as surprised if people said this happened in Beverly Hills?
Well, there was a story
because
here.
Beverly Hills is very
There
expensive.
was a story here in Orlando a few years ago when Disney didn't have, their wages up at a certain point.
Yes.
Where there was a woman who had to sleep halfway between Lakeland and her house because she couldn't get paid in time to pay the gas to get home all the way to her place.
That's
so
crazy.
she was living halfway, in her car until she got paid by Disney. And I mean, it's a thing, but if it's regulated and they're watching over it, I mean, I'm all for that. I'd rather they did that.
We'll see how it all turns out.
I'll watch this.
Well, a man's 11-foot, 750-pound alligator was recently removed by wildlife officials from his home in upstate New York. Now he's vowing to regain custody of his beloved pet. Tony Cavallaro built an in-ground swimming pool for Albert to swim and cool off at his leisure.
Albert.
Law enforcement cited him for illegally keeping a gator in his backyard without a permit. Albert is about 30 years old. They say he's blind in both eyes. However, Tony disagrees with that, and he has some spinal issues. Officials say Cavallaro is accused of letting friends and neighbors into the pool to pet the gator.
Is that a putting
He
green?
previously had a permit but didn't renew it after it expired in 2021. And according to him, he says he tried to renew the permit, but they wouldn't allow him to renew it. So I think there's more to this story.
I think so too.
I mean, he's provided a home for this gator for a number of years. It's questionable to let friends and family into the tank. He says he's harmless,
don't do
but
that. Yeah,
he is a wild animal.
And he bites somebody, and then they wind up, we have to put him down because he's a gator.
Yeah.
And he does those sort of things. He's ready since he was a baby. This is another problem. People, they get the cute pets and they realize they get bigger. This is an alligator, though, folks. I mean, and imagine how much it costs to just feed that thing, too.
Outside of Buffalo, New York is where that alligator is living.
That's indigenous to the area, right? My
Of course
understanding?
it is, yeah. Well, I wonder if he's a Buffalo's fan. Buffalo Bills fan.
We'll see.
Despite the financial success of the live-action adaptation of Aladdin, it appears that Disney has decided to go in a different direction with a sequel.
Okay.
The movie grossed more than $1 billion worldwide and starred Will Smith in the role of the genie. Initially, it seemed that a sequel would follow. However, it now appears that Disney has chosen to distance itself from Smith and the project altogether. The fallout from Will's violent outburst at the Oscars, where he assaulted comedian Chris Rock, seems to be the deciding factor. Matt, thank you for the sound effect there. Smith's last big role was in King Richard, where he starred as the father of tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. Smith will attempt a box office comeback later this year with Bad Boys 4 alongside Martin Lawrence.
And I think he'll be back in everybody's good graces after a while.
You
I mean,
think?
I do, because I also
No.
think of House of Cards.
Yes.
He's now actually getting gigs again.
Spacey?
Spacey, Kevin
Kevin
Spacey.
Spacey.
Thank you.
And but he's getting gigs. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I think people forget about those sort of things after a while, and I think
True.
I mean, it's all about spinning, and he's not. I'm sure he's concerned about it, but I'm not sure if Will Smith is all that worried. He's got plenty of money to sustain himself until the next project.
You could kind of say that about Michael Jackson, too. With everything
There
that
you go,
happened with
yeah.
Michael Jackson, people still love his music. They still listen to it. I mean, we all do, but there's an undertone of like, what really did happen there?
Yeah,
It's a judge the art versus judge the artist type of thing where it's like, I love Men in Black, but also I didn't like you slapping Chris
Right.
Rock.
Yeah.
So, and also I hated that Aladdin movie. So.
No, I don't think it did. I didn't realize it made that much money. I know it got kind of panned. I remember his performance wasn't all that.
I think it made
Great.
more money overseas.
That's probably what it was,
Yeah,
yeah.
and in China than it did domestically.
We'll see on that.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you think that Will should be able to come back and be able to do it, or would you want Will Smith to be able to be in the Aladdin?
What
Where
do you
are
think?
you at?
I mean, what does Disney have to do with that? Where they look at somebody like that and go, do we keep pushing this guy that they've had under contract for a little bit, or is it like we're just going to cut ties because of the slap? Like, is the slap over?
Well, I think that when you look at Disney, which is supposed to be a family-friendly company,
Right.
for somebody to assault someone on stage like that is a bad mark, and for them to hire him suggests that they
think-
condone that behavior.
And then put him on a tall doll and sell him at Hollywood
I
Studios.
still think it's
Yeah.
the wound hasn't really scabbed
Healed,
up yet or
yeah.
healed up yet as well. Anyway, we'd love to hear what you have to think about this. Drop us an email, Flash at dailyflashshow.com or Mitch at dailyflashshow.com. I'll take your email. We'll even share it on air. Matter of fact, we'll even come back right after this.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere.
It is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating all things women. And women are quickly becoming the face of wealth in the U.S. Ladies are excelling at finances, from investing to managing debt, and there are so many new ways women can secure their financial future. Joining us to talk about it is Adrienne Hughes. She's the National Client Experience Executive for Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. Adrienne, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what are women doing well in terms of taking control of their finances?
Well, women have seen a tremendous amount of wealth generation over the past decade. And that's actually true for our larger society, right? The number of affluent families are growing. But when we think about that wealth engine, I usually think about women as the turbo boosters on the back of all that growth. So not only are they growing at a faster clip, but we also see that they're more likely to have retirement accounts set up. They're likely to have financial plans, work with a financial advisor, and most importantly, they are twice as likely to help set up the next generation for financial success. So that's that compounding impact, where it's good that their wealth is growing for now and for our overall economy, but also for those future generations.
I like that. We have compounding interest and we have compounding impact.
Sure.
That's terrific. Where are women still struggling when it comes to finances?
So that is a great question, Andrea. The concerns for women are largely the same as they are for men and anyone, really. It's, do I have enough for my retirement? Can I cover the costs of healthcare? Will I outlive my assets? But I think where women are distinctly, and I wouldn't say struggling, but distinctly challenged, is when you think about the fact that women outlive men, and that there is a wealth gap, as how we call it, right? So the wealth gap is the pay gap, which we all know about, but also the fact that for women specifically, they experience more disruption in their careers than do men, whether it's for childcare or caring for a family member or other things. They not only have the pay gap, but also what we call the wealth gap from those disruptions. We estimate that wealth gap to be about $1 million over the course of a career.
Wow.
And for women of color, especially in the BAA, the Black African American and the Hispanic Latino communities, it's only compounded in those communities as well for women.
You mentioned a few of the obstacles. What are some other obstacles that women face when it comes to those finances?
Well, I think, the other thing, we have a study here at Merrill Lynch, and it's around, we call it diverse viewpoints, right? So really the viewpoint of wealth, having those conversations, sometimes even having the courage to get up and say, look, I want to take control of this, and taking those first steps, right? For many women, we find that they don't want or are not comfortable with finding or discussing their finances as their male counterparts, but we've set up a lot of things to be able to make that comfort and make those conversations better for them. So for example, at Merrill, we have this month our hashtag Women Invested series, which are series of conversations and videos and meetup groups where women can actually get together and focus on the issues that pertain to just them. We also here at Bank of America have what we call our Better Money Habits series, right? And some of those things are focused on women, but people from all aspects of life. And these are our employees actually volunteering their time to make sure that we're making those connections with women, those connections that may not be made as frequently, but are just as important in that community.
Adrienne, some terrific information. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on financial literacy and what you can do to get your money right, head over to dailyflashshow.com and we'll have this interview on our website.
Happy Women's History Month.
Thank you, sir.
My mother was a woman.
Well, I would.
So I have a very tender.
You're a deep connection.
I have a deep connection. Thanks so much. Speaking of women, check out this woman in Tennessee said that she ordered clothing online and was horrified when she found a mysterious vial of blood that was inside of her package. Her name is Anna Elliott. She posted a video explaining the bizarre ordeal. She claimed that her package, which was only supposed to contain the dress that she ordered, also had a dented can of beans inside of it.
Oh my goodness.
Elliott reached out to the blood testing company to report what she had found, and she also contacted CDC, which she claimed filing a report and investigating the incident as a major biohazard.
Yeah.
Elliott said that she got a call from a higher up at the clothing company and told her that they looked through all of their factory footage to no avail. Something similar actually happened to our VP of production here at Daily Flash. He ordered a pair of shoes, and when he got it, there was a knife inside of the box. And so he goes, I don't get it. This is like a shoehorn or what is it? And they go, it's a knife. You can keep it. And I don't know, Hugo, do you still have that knife today? Or do you even use a knife that came along with a pair of shoes?
What, is it like a free steak knife that came
It just came,
it?
no, it had nothing to do.
No
He opened the box up. There's his shoes and then a knife. And like, you know, it was like the knife killer coming after him, whatever. I would, to me personally, I would be freaked out.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, what's going on? I would be 3 times freaked out if I opened up and I found a can of beans and
a vial
blood.
of blood. Yeah.
And how would the two get into the same box? I guess that's what they're trying to figure out.
And here's the thing, like, whose vial of blood is
Yeah.
that, and what were they getting tested for?
Right.
Will they know the results?
That's why you can't bring personal items to work
This
every day. You
is
kind of
true.
wonder about that.
And baked beans.
And baked beans. What the two have together? I would want to know. I would love that. No wonder the folks at the Amazon
Son are
have to have
getting
those.
so stressed out.
They're getting stressed out and they have to go to those rooms and meditate. Ever received anything crazy like that? We'd love to share
let
your
us
experience.
know.
You can drop us an email at flash@dailyflashshow.com. And of course, we're all over social media. Just look for Daily Flash. And of course, you can leave us a comment there. We'll share it with America and the world, actually, right here on the show.
We are international.
We are international.
And you never know, one day we could be ISS international.
One day, if they pick us up, wouldn't that be would be
We'll
great?
be in space.
But then the aliens, they go, what the heck is going on this planet?
Hey, welcome to Furry Friends this week. I'm Matt Doolittle. And first off, you dog lovers know how sneaky your dogs can be. But what if they were secretly spies? Yes, that pup named Elvis thought he could be sneaky with that carrot. And you know what? It's not just dogs. I had my own personal sneaky little friend. Bizkit the Kiki thinks he likes pretzels. Check this out.
They're pretzels, dude. You don't eat pretzels. You don't eat pretzels. No, you don't. You do not eat pretzels. Bloody Nora. Okay, now it's not your catnip.
Every day with our furry friends is always a fantastic adventure, and we all know that. Andrea?
Matt, Mitch just told me to give you some grief for your cat having its own TikTok page.
He does.
All right, Maddie, thank you. Daylight saving time can sure do a number on us, not to mention feeling like we've lost an hour in the day. Here's lifestyle editor Joanne Butler to help us out.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me. This time of year, schedules are just more jam-packed than ever. Everything's frenetic, and you just, can't seem to find the time no matter what you do. And when that happens, often we are scrambling for lunch or miss it altogether, which is just not good. So something I am loving, actually, my whole office loves it, the new Knorr rice and pasta cups. Look at these. These are quick, easy to make, super delicious lunch meals, just so good. Plus, they're microwave ready in just 2.5 minutes or less. So talk about maximizing time in your day. No excuse not to have lunch with these. And they're made with 100% U.S. grown rice. They have 6 to 7 grams of protein per serving. They come in 4 delicious flavors, 3 cheese mushroom risotto, garden tomato risotto, fajita rice, and chicken flavored fried rice. And they're great on their own, but you can also take them up a notch and just add some toppings like cheese, veggies, avocado, salsa. And now also look out for the pasta cups. They'll start rolling out in April. And they have 8 to 9 grams of protein per serving. And they come in teriyaki noodles, spicy Korean style barbecue, and pad thai. 3 yummy flavors. I can't wait to try them. And also, I should tell you, these are all 100% real vegetables. Great for lunch, like I said, but of course, great easy dinner too. Even better, they're just $2.99 at Walmart or grocery store. So definitely check this out, Knorr. Now, next up are beauty routines. You want to find products that are multi-purpose and get as much done as possible for you, especially after the harsh winter has done a number on your hair. So enter the drugstore brand OGX. Now, this is their extra strength renewing plus argan oil of Morocco penetrated oil. Just ideal if you have really dry or textured hair. It's made with an extra hydrating blend of water-based silk proteins and cold-pressed Moroccan argan oil. It just makes hair instantly smoother and shinier with each drop, and really seals in the nutrients and just helps improve hair elasticity. You just put a few drops in your favorite conditioner for an extra shine, or just take it right out of the bottle, put it on the ends to add some luster and tame frizz. And you can use it every day too. Get it right at Target for $7.99. And next up, got to tell you about Maui Moisture. Now, this brand knows it's all about a healthy scalp, and they've just launched a whole line dedicated to it called Scalp Care. It's a clarifying shampoo, a conditioner, and a serum for curly and wavy hair, loaded with 100% aloe vera as a first ingredient and a super hydrating base. Plus, it has apple cider vinegar, rosemary oil, packed with vitamins E and B. Smells amazing, by the way. And you can use them in combo to get rid of buildup and leave your hair refreshed and restored. Prevents up to 90% less curl breakage on your brush, which, if you have curly or wavy hair, you can appreciate. Makes it 50 times softer if you use it every day. And then the serum, this is the magic here. You just massage that right into your scalp, root to end before you style. Curls just love this. It makes them 2 times stronger. Prevents dryness, controls frizz for 48 hours. This collection is just a steal. Again, right at Target here, $10.25 each. Now, other general things you can do, try to get to bed an hour earlier and catch up. It really does help. Also, plan ahead. Write down an agenda of things you need to get done for the next day. Also, do as much as you can the night before, like lay your clothes out so you don't wake up and think, oh, what am I going to wear today? Set the coffee pot so it's ready to go when you wake up. And best tip I can give you, don't be afraid to say no to friends and family. If they ask you to do something on the weekend, you just really don't feel like it, don't be afraid to say no. Take time for yourself. There you have it. Some tips to maximize more time in your day and do things for yourself.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Matt, you just got out of getting married. Well, you just got into getting married.
Well, I just got into getting married. I'm not getting out. I'm not working on getting out, Mitch. Come on.
When I tell you this number, you're going to be, because I have a feeling, it was a wonderful wedding, by the way, but it will surprise you how much people are spending these days, the average amount of money people
I can
spend.
tell you over.
And so I'm going to tell you numbers, and then you don't have to say, but just think about these are the average. The average cost of popping the question in 2024 is $33,000 altogether. That's about the average. So think about that. It's going through your mind there, Matt.
Are we talking about the ring?
Okay, we're talking about everything. So
From will you to I do.
yes, and then it's much more than that when you get divorced. Trust me.
I'm working on that.
The engagement ring is around $7,000.
No.
Is what
Okay.
this, okay.
No, Matt's saying no.
And this only I never
Had a guy.
I never realized this, but wedding bands for both of it. I always thought the wedding band was supposed to be more expensive, but apparently I found this out when I got married a year ago that the engagement rings what you're supposed to put all the cash on, right? So $7,000 for the engagement ring, and then for the wedding bands, the average cost is about $1,700. So you got like a cheap, ring that you're wearing all the time, and then the wedding band, the engagement ring you wear every once in a while.
Yeah.
See, I got lucky because the guy that actually made my rings made my parents, and he's a
guy.
He's John Ellison Tony from New York.
Knew a guy.
I knew a guy.
Don't ask where the diamonds came from. So
Nope.
And then for the wedding gown, the lady spent about $1,500. And this is what I think is the most alarming out of all this. The way that they pay for it, credit cards.
Yeah.
And if you're going into a marriage in
debt.
debt, man, I got to tell you, it's like you're just setting yourself up for that much more problems. So keep that in mind.
We just talked to one of our financial experts about women and how they're doing so much better with finances. I do find that a lot of women are second guessing spending that kind of money on weddings, because if you think about it, the average price for a wedding is between $30,000 and $40,000.
Yeah.
That's a substantial down payment on a home.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you rather maybe elope and then throw a nice party? I mean, that's a smarter money way to do it. Obviously, it doesn't have the same sentimental value.
Have the party, because
Yeah.
that's where the gifts come.
Exactly.
Tell them about it.
I wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
My mom wanted to pick the Elvis, but Leah wanted the pretty party.
She wanted the pretty
So
wedding.
we had the
Yeah.
pretty party.
You gotta have a pretty party.
Yeah, it was a great party. It was
Yeah.
a great party, and yeah, you're about right in the numbers.
Was it a first wedding for her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and me.
And you,
So,
yeah.
No, my wedding was nowhere near that. But we spent all the money on the reception, though, because I wanted to have a party.
No, the Coors alone.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and Arizona City has approved a program that would allow homeless workers to sleep in their cars, and the decision is causing outrage from local homeowners. The Sedona City Council approved the Safe Place to Park program, which includes 40 designated parking spots for those employed full-time within the city limits. It also includes on-site bathrooms and showers. Critics say this new program will lead to pollution, drug use, other illicit activities, which could have negative impacts on the park and surrounding areas. City officials say the program just temporary and will conclude in 2026 when the funding runs out. The program comes after the city's search for a solution to deal with skyrocketing home prices. Supporters say the move will help those who would otherwise be forced to sleep in their cars. Affordable housing projects are also in the works.
And I want to disagree with as far as drug use goes, that this will bring in druggers. I don't understand if they're full-time employees and they're city workers who have to get drug tested and so I don't think it's that. Pollution, I can buy into that because trash, but you know what? Make sure that you have somebody like, hey, I'm the king of the parking lot. I want to make sure everything's good. There's going to be a Karen that's living in a van, right? That's why they call it a caravan. Karen. But okay, if you look at this too, what's the difference between this and a rest stop? I mean, people stop and you take a nap for 2-3 hours.
Buc-ee's, all those places you can stop off and take a shower.
So and then there's other places, and this place is going to have showers along with it. So I'd be worried about other things.
It's possible that residents are asking that same question, like, why don't you develop this at the rest stop? Why do you have to have it in the middle of our neighborhood?
That's probably what, because it's Sedona.
Yeah, it's Sedona, exactly. Yeah. And I can see why they think that maybe the people, the city workers might get moved out or crowded out by homeless people if that happens. That's a concern.
We have more Flash coming up. We're going to do some Life Love shopping right around the corner. Stick around.
If You live it, you love it, or you buy it. We talk about it right here on Life Love Shopping. We're going to start today with a very unique story. We're following the latest makeup trends, and this first one is not for the plain Janes who knew broccoli would kick off a crazy makeup trend involving faux freckles. Take a look.
I was on fire. I don't know what I just witnessed, but I am 100% down. Ain't nothing like a little broccoli. I'm a sucker for faux freckles, so I feel like we don't need this whole broccoli head. I'm using e.l.f. concealer in one of the deeper tones. This looks very sus. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. Okay, maybe I needed to do not so deep of a shade. But it's giving freckles. Okay, wait. Let's pat it. Oh crap. Note to self, a little goes a long way.
So the broccoli method has a new generation of fashionistas freaking out over the green go-to method. Paula Reitman dipped hers in bronzer for a more natural freckle sparkle. All right, here we go. A makeup artist reveals her perfect hack for the perfect lip. Take a look.
I have a slightly different lipstick application hack for you this morning. We are not going to apply our lipstick with that part of the bullet. Hear me out. When you apply with that part of the bullet, you have like a reduced visibility on the actual lip line. However, when you flip the bullet around, that angle lets you see everything a little bit better. Watch. There's just something different. This, for me, feels more cumbersome, and it's easier for me to kind of go outside of the lip line higher, versus when I do this, I have more control. And for the bottom lip, honestly, same thing. Just go where the lip opens first as opposed to the lip line. And then kind of the same thing, I feel like, is better when you use the tip of the bullet. Try it. Humor me and let me know what it looks like. Or let me know what you think. Also, this is Whirl from...
So makeup artist Katie Jane Hughes shares all her makeup tips and tricks on her social media page with more than 260,000 followers. In addition to the lipstick video, her lip liner and foundation clips are among the most popular. Well, a dietitian is trending for her video on the 6 elite foods she never leaves Costco without. She goes by the handle Sorority Nutritionist. Here's registered dietitian Lauren Hubert with her favorites.
Foods I never leave Costco without as a dietitian. Their produce section is elite, especially their fruits, so bananas and peanut butter, berries on top of oatmeal, and salads and yogurt parfaits. We buy it all. Chicken is also a go-to for us. We buy the breasts and the thighs. We also love these chicken apple sausages for an easy protein during the week. Almond flour crackers with hummus. We love them. Poppy soda, broccoli florets that are frozen for an easy veggie at meals, frozen fruit for smoothies, and we always leave with a whole grain bread. I love this one.
And check this out. Jenna Evelyn is sharing her advice on how she dropped 15 to 20 pounds within 3 months. She credits cutting out drinking, making better food choices, and getting in at least 10,000 steps a day.
How I lost 15 pounds in 2 to 3 months in college. Let's do it. So I gained the freshman 15 living on campus. Honestly, I probably gained more about 20 pounds while being a freshman in college. That was from drinking every weekend, not being in a deficit, not hitting my protein goals, and not working out the right way for my body. Here's what I did to actually lose the 15 to 20 pounds very quickly. Food was the biggest thing. I was still eating a lot, but it was low calorie, high protein. My staples for low cal, high protein was chickpea pasta, fat-free cottage cheese. I made sauces out of it, used it in everything. Ground turkey, I would make like taco bowls, chicken, Greek yogurt. I ate that all the time. Turkey bacon, I would make breakfast sandwiches. Now for workouts. I started losing weight when I started doing low impact workouts like walking, dumbbell only lifts, and Pilates.
For more information on any of these stories, head to our website, llsshow.com.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, getting ready for an Easter celebration can be a challenge, even for super moms. Here is lifestyle expert Rosalind Daniels with some time-saving tips if you're hosting your friends and family this year. Hi, Rosalind. So Easter's a big celebration for me. So what is the most important part of a successful Easter menu?
Well, I think the most important part is having time to spend with your family and friends so you can connect. So that's why I'm teaming up with my friends at Cracker Barrel, because they have fully prepared Easter meals that are delicious and allow you that time to connect with the ones who matter most.
So what are you making this year for Easter?
Okay, now I love a home cooked meal, but I also love having someone else cook that meal for me. So I'm going to have Cracker Barrel do all the work for me so I don't have to be in that
Yes.
kitchen. Now, their Easter heat and serve and ready to serve meals are the perfect way to enjoy a delicious Easter meal without the hassle. The heat and serve meals go from the oven to the table in 3 hours or less and feature your choice of spiral sliced sugar cured ham or prime rib. And the new Easter ham and turkey hot and ready meals require no prep time at all because they come hot and ready to serve. Just make sure that you place your order right now so you can pick it up between March 28th or the 31st, or you can have it delivered.
So at Cracker Barrel, what is your favorite way to play that triangle game they have with all the pins in it? Is that like a main thing you do there?
Oh, that's still there, but you know what? My kids like to play with that. I just keep them busy with it.
Awesome. So for all that Easter information, where can we go for more information?
You can visit crackerbarrel.com to place your pre-order now for your Easter meal for pickup, curbside, or delivery for March 28th through the 31st. Or visit your local Cracker Barrel and try out their new spring menu while you're there.
Great. And thank you for joining us. We'll have all that information on our website at dailyflashshow.com. Guys?
While eating healthier should be a goal for all of us, the high cost of doing so is one of the biggest challenges. Consumer savings and grocery shopping expert Andrea Woroch joins us now with some advice on how to cut the cost of healthy groceries. Andrea, welcome back to the Daily Flash.
Thank you for having me. I know that grocery prices are remaining stubbornly high, so I do have a few tips to help you save.
Yeah, you suggest trying reverse meal planning. What is it?
So I always tell people we need to meal plan to reduce food waste. This is when you plan out meals for the week and you buy only what you need for those meals and nothing else. But this time I want you to do it in reverse. Plan your meals around what's on sale at your local grocery stores. Look up ads online on your phone to see which ingredients are on sale. Then you can use an app like Cook List, type in those ingredients, maybe even what you already have at home. They'll come up with recipes for you, and this will really help you save on those healthy foods.
That's a terrific approach to it. What should we consider when buying fresh produce? Because this is always tricky, and I feel like this is the part where people feel like they waste the most money.
Exactly. And there really aren't coupons for fresh produce. So the first few things you could do is weigh your bagged produce and look for the ones that weigh more. And that's because there are pricing protections for consumers for any of those bagged produce or containers of produce or fruit that is priced per unit, meaning it's not priced per pound. It has to weigh at least at minimum the amount advertised on the package, but oftentimes it could weigh more. So if you weigh it, find the one that weighs more, you won't pay more, you'll get a little extra food. Also, a few other things to consider: limit how much you buy in bulk of the fresh produce. Instead, opt for frozen produce. It's flash frozen at peak ripeness, so you get all the amazing nutrients and you don't have to worry about it going bad. This would ensure you have berries for smoothies, vegetables for stir fries on hand. Again, not worrying about it spoiling.
Yeah, because I can't tell you how many times I've thrown out produce. I mean, it's it's unfortunate, but it happens to all of us. What about store brands, Andrea?
Store brands have come such a long way in the last decade, and oftentimes they are manufactured at the same facilities as the national name brands, giving you high quality ingredients. They also have a lot of healthy options these days, including organic and gluten-free. So you really want to pay attention to these. Compare the ingredients side by side with maybe a favorite name brand that you've been consuming for the last few years. Give the store brand a test. Most chances are you're going to love it, fall in love, and help you save around 30%. And if you're unhappy with it, most stores will accept a refund, so you really don't waste any money trying it.
Can grocery store apps really help you save? You know, they promote them at the checkout line. It's like, do I really need one more app? Is it going to really save me money?
You definitely want to download the grocery store apps. More and more stores are giving coupons for product-specific deals. There are even stores that give you coupons for money off your order. You just have to learn how to use the app. It's super easy to use. I also like some other savings apps that makes shopping for groceries cheaper. First of all, Coupon Cabin has a mobile coupon app. They also have an online site where you can get coupons for online grocery orders. So if you do a lot of that kind of shopping for your groceries online, it also helps you deter those impulse impulse purchases.
Yeah.
So you could stick to your list, but they had coupons for money off, free delivery, and you're also going to earn cash back for those online grocery orders through the app. So that's really great. And then when you're done shopping, hold on to that receipt. Download Fetch. Fetch is a free rewards app. You take pictures of your receipts. You'll earn points, which you can then redeem for gift cards to a variety of stores. You can then use those gift cards to splurge on a little treat for yourself, get a little cash back for all the groceries you're buying.
We have time for one more question, Andrea. What should we pay attention to at checkout?
There's so much to pay attention to. First of all, get off your phone and look at what is actually being scanned once you've clipped your coupons, of course. You want to make sure that the prices line up. I can't tell you how many times I've seen discrepancies in prices. Sometimes the sales not applied at actual checkout, and you want to make sure you're saving every bit of money you can. Also, pay attention to which credit card you're paying with. Some cards will give you more points or cash back for groceries. And then also consider a flat rate cashback card, the Bread American Express card. It's a Bread cashback. American Express card gives you unlimited 2% back no matter where you shop. So that would be a great option for groceries if you're buying at Target or Sam's Club.
Perfect. Andrea, thank you. That's all we have time for today. For more savings tips, please visit AndreaWoroch.com.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Was it weird saying her name?
Yes, a little bit.
Cool. How about a Michelin star meal in space is as an astronomical feat, and it comes with a pretty sky-high price, too. Space VIP will host a dining experience in space with a Michelin star chef. 6 explorers will be making history by enjoying the meal of a lifetime high above the Earth's atmosphere. The price takes 6 hours. It's going to cost you $495,000 per ticket. Now, all proceeds will from that mission will actually benefit the Space Prize Foundation. The chef will cater his meal on board the mission to set a launch in 2025 from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Diners ascend 100,000 feet above sea level. Explorers will have access to Wi-Fi and will also live stream their experiences to their family and friends so they can brag about it. But wow, what a view, right? You go there for the view and hopefully nothing else comes up. How about that?
That's a space traveler, not an astronaut. Let's just clarify.
I agree. Good point on that. More Flash after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. A hapless dreamer is also a would-be philosopher, and he spends his days looking after the pool of the Tahitian Tiki Apartments in sunny LA. This is today's must-watch movie, Pool Man.
Dear moviegoer, thanks for watching my trailer. I'm Darren Behrman. I'm a pool man. I love Los Angeles, and I'm fighting to make it a better place. These are my best friends, Jack Denisoff and Diane Esplanade.
This is my take on the Langers cream. A little bit of cinnamon.
It's brilliant. This is my girlfriend, Susan. And this is June Del Rey. She's uncovered corruption at city council and thinks I can help. She thinks I'd make a great detective.
Whoa, like undercover?
Yes.
I'm not really trained. Can I get back to you?
These are the bad guys. That's a lizard. And this is a tree that's trying to tell me something about my past. Anyway, these are some cool images set to awesome music. Hit it! Thank you for watching. Have an awesome aquatical day. Yours, XXDB.
I like Chris Pine.
I
do, and it's neat to see. And cool, I didn't know he directed it and wrote this, so that's even cooler about all that. Danny DeVito, too.
You got Annette Bening and Jennifer Jason Leigh,
Yeah.
so you've got a pretty solid cast in that movie.
It took me a second when I saw Jennifer Jason Leigh. I was like, who is? I know that face,
Yeah.
but she was played down, obviously. So that was her character.
Did you see her in the last season of Fargo?
I have not. No, I've
Yeah.
not seen this Fargo one yet.
Yeah.
This season.
She's one of the main characters. She's fantastic.
I'm gonna have to binge it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, of course.
Yes, so for more information on anything you've seen on today's show, head to our website. Here's the deal, dailyflashshow.com. It's open, what, 24 hours?
Yes, I agree. Extended hours a little
Yes.
bit later on, and now 28% off. That's everything. I don't even know what that
Open
means.
during holidays,
Open
too.
during holidays. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.